All right, so Taj, you got the NFL top five premium matchups of the week. Let's go down the list. We got number one on the list, the Titans versus the Browns.
This game is important. Both teams are 8-3. The Browns currently hold the number one wild card spot. They're obviously not going to win divisions because the Steelers are going to win it. They're 11-0 right now. But Tennessee, they're ahead in their division, but they're only one game ahead of Indiana. The Colts. So if they lose this game, they possibly end up with a tie with the Colts, and So I don't think they don't want to do that. So I think this game is important for both teams. I just think Tennessee will win. I think both teams will try to run the ball down each other's throat. But I think Derrick Henry, he'll just be too much for this Browns defense. And then, Browns, they're not going to trust Baker Mayfield to throw the ball. And I think if Ryan Tannehill is needed, Tennessee is comfortable with him, making plays. So I got the Titans.
Yeah, this game is really big for the Titans. Like you said, it could really flip flop who wins a division, in 1 week. And I got the Titans winning this game. It's going to be a ground and pound game because we starting to see now that the Browns are starting to evolve more into a running team. They really figured out their identity. But I feel like the Titans, we saw them with Ryan Tannehill. People forget about Ryan Tannehill, and he's been tearing up the league this year. So I got the Titans winning that game. Let's go now. Rams versus Cardinals. Who you got?
Well, this is a tough game, but I got the Cardinals. This game is probably this is an important game because it's probably going to determine who wins the division and not obviously Seattle is leading right now. They 8-3, but the Cardinals, both these teams are wild card teams right now. Rams 7-4, Cardinals 6-5, and Cardinals would love to tie the Rams. And I think Kyler Murray, I think he's playing at the MVP level right now. I think DeAndre Hopkins, he's balling out, but obviously the Rams they're balling out too. That defense with Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald, they're carrying on. And Jared Goff, he's been making plays when he has to, but we also see he's been kind of up and down. But I think if Kyler Murray gets to off to a good start, I don't think Jared Goff will be able to catch up. I think, the defense will bother him. Aaron Donald will bother him. But I just think at the end of the day, he'll make more plays than Jared Goff. So I think I got the Cardinals winning this game.
Yeah, I feel like this is a big game for the Cardinals. I think if they lose this game, it's definitely they're probably gonna be out of it because then they'll fall to 6-6, and obviously the Rams will get another win, and then the Seahawks are already up there in the division at 8-3.
They'll still make a wild card, though. They'll still make a wild card.
Yeah, probably, but their playoff chances will go down a lot, and yeah, I'm gonna go with the Cardinals on this one mainly because of Kyler Murray's ability to escape the pocket. So I feel like that pass rush from the Los Angeles Rams, won't be a big threat to him. Man, let's keep going. We got the Seahawks versus the Giants.
Oh yeah, usually this wouldn't be a big game because the Giants are on a good team. But the fact that matter is Giants are leading their division. The NFC East, obviously the West Division in football, and Giants they're leading it 4-7, and then the Seahawks are 8-3. But the thing with the Giants, they've been playing really great as of late. I think they won like 4 of their last 6 games. Like they've really been balling, and this team has been sneaky good every week. They've been improving, and then Seattle has shown that they can be had any week. Seattle is that team. They're not blowing out any teams, and no teams are running away from them. So I think Seattle is the kind of team that any week they can lose, but most times they win those games. So I think the Giants will give them problems. They're really been balling out. I think they'll give them problems. Obviously, even if the Giants lose, they still have the chance to win the division. If Seattle loses and the Rams win, they'll be tied for the top of that division. So I got Seattle win this game, but this is an important game for more so Seattle, not really the Giants. But I think Seattle win. Russell Wilson, he's been balling out.
Yeah, this is a no brainer. Seattle's gonna win this game. Daniel Jones is out. The Giants they're in a horrible division. They're not as bad as their record shows you, but they still lost all those games, and you don't get credit for coming close. So it is what it is. I guess the Seahawks will win this game. Let's keep going. We got the Steelers versus the Washington football team. Who you got winning this?
Yeah, I got the Steelers win this game. The Steelers are 11 obviously they just played this week Wednesday, so they'll be on a short week. But I mean Washington, like I said, just like they're in the terrible division as well, and there still is a chance that they can win the division. A great chance, honestly. Or what would they? I think they're tied with the Giants first place in that division. But this will be an easy win for the Steelers. I think Steelers defense they've been playing really good. The offense has not really been so much good, but then Washington their defense has been sneaky good late as of late. I don't think enough people are giving them credit. That defensive front, that defensive line, they have been balling out. So I think they'll give Big Ben some problems. But I think at the end of the day, Washington won't be able to put up enough points. I think this can be a low scoring game. Maybe like it could be about like 20-13, something like that. It'd be a low scoring game, though both these defenses are great. But at the end of the day, I think Steelers will pull out the win.
I'm actually gonna go the other way. I feel like the Washington football team will pull out an upset on this one. If you saw the Steelers played on Wednesday against the Ravens team who had nobody, they looked horrible on Wednesday, and arguably if they was playing an okay team, they probably would have lost that game. And the Steelers obviously they're 11-0, and you're gonna lose a game that you're supposed to win. And I feel like that's gonna be this game. And Washington is underrated, so I feel like Washington will take this game, and I'm picking them with the upset. Now let's go to the last team on the list: the Colts versus the Texans. Who you got?
Well, this I really love this matchup. Deshaun Watson has been the best quarterback in the NFL the past 6 weeks. Well, see, he's like 16 touchdowns and zero interceptions over the last 5 games. This guy has been balling low. If it wasn't for Bill O'Brien just being so inept, costing them getting off to that 0-5 start. The Texans, they would be a playoff team right now, but the reality situation is they got up to a slow start, but lately they've been balling. Deshaun Watson has been balling. I still don't like the defense. I really don't like the defense. They got JJ Watt. Everyone else is really kind of suspect. But I mean, the Colts, they've been great as well. I think the defense is ranked number one in the league right now. I think it's the Colts. Offensive line has been pretty well. Philip Rivers, he's been contributing, but I think at the end of the day, Deshaun Watson, I think he's gonna be too much for them. I think he's gonna be too much for the Colts, and I don't think Philip Rivers will be able to put up enough points to keep up with Deshaun Watson. Like, yes, we understand Texans defense is terrible as well, but I think he can go off about 35 points, honestly. And I think Philip Rivers, when you start getting that 25-point range, I don't really trust Philip Rivers to score more points than that at this point. Both teams are really good. The coach is really more so good, better than the Texans, obviously. But Texans got Deshaun Watson. At the end of the day, I'm going to take the better quarterback, and I think Deshaun Watson. I think he'll pull up the win.
I'm going with the Colts on this one. I don't think the Texans defense hold up. We've seen it time and time after again this year. At the end of the games, they just completely sell out and do it, just walk down the field on them. And I feel like the Colts, their team, their defense is good enough to give them enough to keep them in the game and keep Deshaun Watson. Not obviously they won't keep him at bay, but they'll keep it at a respectful number where Philip Rivers can go in and keep it in a close game situation where you could go score, go ahead touchdown, go ahead field goal. So I feel like the Colts will win this, and plus this is an important game for the Colts in terms of them in their playoff race. So I feel like there'll be an increased level of urgency. The Texans are already out the playoffs, so.
I mean, I think the fact that it's an important game for the Colts, I think it's puts it in the Texans' favor because really the Colts are expected to win this game, and we see time and time again teams has been upsetting us all this entire year where we expect them to win games. They're in division races. We expect them to win games. They end up losing. We just saw last week with the Raiders. We saw it with the Vikings who got that loss to the Cowboys. We just see time and time again teams just finding ways to lose games. We just saw that last week with the Rams after beating Tampa Bay. They went out and stink up the joint last week. So I think we'll see something similar to like that from the Colts. Sean Watson, he's going to put up about 35 points. And Philip Rivers, good luck trying to put up that much points. I think then they Deshaun he'll outscore Philip Rivers.